Good morning. Thank you all so much for making the journey to Trenton this morning. We're so happy to have you here at the Hughes Justice Center for the Attorney General's Excellence in Policing Awards. We have so much to celebrate, so many honorees with incredibly inspiring achievements, and we're so happy to have you all here. Just a couple quick housekeepings. If you could silence your cell phones, that would be great. I know you're all on call, so keep them on vibrate. And then after your award is called, the video will play, and then the Attorney General will invite each winner up to the stage for a photo. At that point, we would also invite the leadership from that agency, the relevant county prosecutor, and any other special family guests that want to be part of the official photo. We'll then have time after the ceremony to take pictures with your family in front of the various step and repeats. Okay, that's it for housekeeping. With no further ado, it's my honor and privilege to introduce the Attorney General of the State of New Jersey, General Matt Platkin. Thanks so much.
Morning. Any Knicks fans here? Yeah. All right. Well, for those of you who weren't up, I'm just amazed I still have a voice, frankly, because I was running through my house screaming like a 6-year-old. Yeah, I see Monsignor agreeing with me. So, yeah, a holy yell that was. No, it's great to, this is my favorite event of the year. As we go into Police Week, recognizing the exceptional work of the 42,000 law enforcement officers who make up the New Jersey law enforcement community. The truth is we have a host of awards, and you'll see a couple of categories. We have more than one awardee, so we're going to try to move through the program. But the truth is we could give out thousands and thousands of these awards every year. We see in New Jersey the finest law enforcement work anywhere in the United States of America. And that's across the spectrum of what we're going to talk about today. It's the bravery of the women and men who make up our law enforcement community. And I want to particularly recognize this year we are marking introducing a new award, the Sergeant Joseph Ascona Bravery Award. And that's to recognize the heroism of Sergeant Joseph Ascona. And in March of this year, we had a tragedy. Sergeant Ascona, 26 years old, paid the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty, doing what he did every day, and what I've gotten to know was his lifelong dream, which was to stand up and serve the people of Newark and the communities that make up the state of New Jersey. I want to recognize his mother, Martha Vargas, who's here. I want to recognize the director, Miranda, Chief Morris, and the entire Newark police community, particularly the Intel unit, who are here with us today. Please join me in honoring them for their tremendous, tremendous service. The award that is now named after Sergeant Ascona is the Bravery Award. And again, bravery is what our law enforcement officers exhibit every single day. And in a small way, Martha, I hope that this award will keep Joseph's memory alive well beyond when I'm here. It is so fitting that it is the Bravery Award, because what he did that night and what the Intel unit does every day, and we'll talk more about it, and what our law enforcement officers do every single day across our state is the ultimate example of bravery, of putting themselves first, of serving others, of answering the call no matter what that call may be. No one who's ever answered that call everyone who's ever answered that call could tell you that you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whether it's going to be a shooting, somebody dealing with a drug addiction, a mental health crisis, a family in trouble, a cat in a tree. You don't know what it's going to be. And yet you answer that call every single time, anytime the people of this state need you. And I will tell you that this job is the most amazing privilege I'll ever have. But the best part of this job is getting to lift up the work of the 42,000 law enforcement officers we have in New Jersey. We spend so much time, unfortunately, not just about law enforcement, but about everything, talking about things that aren't going right. And the truth is, we spend far too little time highlighting the 99.99% of what it is going right. And in New Jersey, we are looked at across the country on all of the things you're going to hear about today as a national model. When I go across the country, people say to me, how are you doing this or that in New Jersey? Because we have consistently been at the front end of making, as we talked about here, the most excellent law enforcement profession in the United States of America. And I am extremely proud, as I always will be, to serve as the Attorney General and stand with you all and support you all and lift up the amazing work being done by our law enforcement professionals at a time when it's never been harder to be in this profession. There's never been more scrutiny, there's never been more pressure, and you've never performed better. The numbers bear it out. Don't anybody tell you otherwise. You are safer in New Jersey because of your work than you have literally ever been. We've never had shooting numbers this low. Opioid overdoses down 30%. Auto thefts and burglaries down. 1,000, and we're going to hear from some of them, trained resiliency officers, and we have more to do on that front, absolutely. Mental health crisis being responded to in a way that no other state in the country is doing. Engaging our youth in new and creative ways. Building community bonds that have helped law enforcement. All of this is happening because of your work. It's not an accident that the numbers are going down. It's going down not because of me, not because of somebody standing at a podium, but because of the men and women on the street every day doing the hard and often thankless work to keep us safe. So for that, whether you're getting an award today or not, and whether you're here today or not, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service, both as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer and most importantly as just a resident of our state, raising a family here who you, whether you know it or not, help keep them safe. So with that, I will start. I know I'm going to start getting the hook if I keep talking because we are very, we're strict on time here. I'll turn to our honorees and our awardees, and the way this is going to work, we have, I want to thank Matt Marin, who ran all over the state taking videos. I don't know where Matt is. There he is. We have videos of each of our awardees, and they're really beautiful, and so I'm going to let the videos speak, and then I will invite you, as Lindsay said, the awardees and some others up to the stage to receive the award. The first award, and this is reflective of what I said earlier, is the Detective Joseph Seals Valor Award, who, as you all know, we lost 5.5 years ago, hard to believe, in a tragedy in Jersey City. And I was just speaking about this last week. Detective Seals, I was at the scene that night in Jersey City, for those of you who remember, and he saved countless lives, countless. That was an awful tragedy. It could have been one of the worst atrocities in modern American history, but for Joseph Seals' heroism. Please join me in welcoming the 2025 Detective Joseph Seals Valor Award, which goes to Officer Manuel Rodriguez of the Elizabeth Police Department, and I'd also like to invite up Chief Sacca and Director Graves to join us for a photo. you think about shooting numbers coming down. Officer Rodriguez said it right. You take that one gun off the street. We know that a gun could be used in a dozen or more shootings. And you just think about the ripple effect of that one act of heroism that probably saved many lives, thanks to Officer Rodriguez and his colleagues' work. The next award is really important. It's the Pablo Santiago Resiliency Award. And this year, we have two. Again, this is one of the categories where we have two awardees because there's so much great work. So I want to play the first video for Detective Brad Wadby of the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office.
The Detective Pablo Santiago Resiliency Award, honoring a law enforcement officer who developed an innovative program or initiative to improve officer safety and wellness. Named for Mercer County Sheriff's Office Detective Pablo Santiago, who lost his life to suicide in December 2018. Detective Santiago's untimely death was the inspiration for the Attorney General's statewide law enforcement resiliency program. The Detective Pablo Santiago Resiliency Award is presented to Detective Brad Wadby from the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office for his selfless commitment to helping law enforcement well-being throughout Bergen County.
6 years ago, I went through a suicide attempt, alcoholism, neglected my family. When I went away to treatment, I thought that my career was over, but my career as I knew it up to that point was over. I did not want to have another officer feel the way I did. Working as a resiliency officer in Bergen County, I was able to train every single officer in the resiliency program. Every department has a resiliency officer, and that resiliency officer is trained to help those officers that are struggling. Officers have been struggling for way too long, and they finally have a program that they're able to come forward confidentially and raise their hand and get the help without anyone knowing. It's okay if we have mental health issues. It's okay if we have addiction issues. It's about identifying it, taking the responsibility, and getting better. Approximately 96% of every officer that goes for fitness for duty returns to work. There is hope. There is a future for you. And if it's not in law enforcement, then so be it. But as long as your family has you back, your kids have you back, to me, that's all that matters. My work in the resiliency program has driven me to go back to school and work towards my master's in social work because when I retire, I want to become a therapist for first responders and veterans. I want to serve as someone that can show them that they can bounce back from rock bottom, and they can come back and live a productive career, and more importantly, a productive life.
I'm going to invite Detective Wadby up to the stage in just a second, but I want to just commend him. What you saw on that screen is really hard and really brave, and it is such a powerful example for him to be able to speak about his own experience and set an example for everybody else in law enforcement. You get hurt on the job, there's no shame in saying that you have a physical injury. There shouldn't be any shame in saying that you're struggling. What you all see every single day is different than any other profession. And it's people like Brad Wadby that are helping folks get through difficult times. So please join me in congratulating him on this award. And I'd also like to invite up Prosecutor Marcella and Chief Fink to join us for a photo. Okay.
Captain.
And now for the second Pablo Santiago Resiliency Award, direct you to the screen.
The second Detective Pablo Santiago Resiliency Award is presented to Assistant Prosecutor Renee White of the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office for developing the Ocean County Officer Wellness Center.
Our Officer Wellness Center, we had a grand opening in September of 2024. The creation of a wellness center came from years of wanting to designate a place just for our law enforcement members that's accessible not just for assistance and counseling, but really in enriching them so that they could be the best officers that they can be. Maybe they're trying to navigate a divorce or a child custody dispute and it's causing them stress. Or maybe it's a financial issue or they're getting ready to retire and they just don't know how to navigate that. We really offer them at the Wellness Center a place where officers struggling can be amongst their peers in a healthy, private environment that's free of stigma and free of judgment. Officers are sworn to protect and serve, and they have to make sure that they are happy and healthy and doing things to the best of their ability so that they can do that job, so that they could take care of others. And it starts with taking care of themselves first.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage the second Pablo Santiago Resiliency Award, which goes to Supervising Assistant Prosecutor Renee White of the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office, and I'd also like to invite, against my better judgment, by the way, Prosecutor Brad Billheimer up to the stage for a photo. I should have noted at the beginning, I don't personally handpick all of these on our own. I mean, we do select them, but you should know that their nominations come from all across the state. And the awardees have been lifted up in most instances by people they work with or people whose lives they've impacted. And again, we could have selected probably hundreds of times over, but for those of you who won an award, you should know that there are people in your corner who are championing you, including the folks who are on the stage with you, and so I want you to know that. Next, we have the Attorney General's Initiative Award, which I'm really excited about, not just because I guess technically they're all my awards, but not just because it's the Attorney General's Award, but because this work is so central to what we're doing in this state, and I will direct you to the screen.
The Attorney General's Initiative Award, honoring a county prosecutor's office or police department that exhibited outstanding community outreach efforts. The Attorney General's Initiative Award is presented to the Monmouth, Union, Hudson, and Middlesex County Prosecutor's Offices and RWJ Barnabas Health for the Arrive Together Critical Incident Model.
In 2023, representatives from Monmouth, Union, Hudson, and Middlesex counties saw the need for a new Arrive Together model. In partnership, they formed a multidisciplinary team that included all 4 counties and RWJ Barnabas Health to design a plan for what would become the 5th Arrive model. Only originally intended to be a pilot, it became a framework to improve the state's response to barricaded individuals.
The critical incident model represents an expansion, a logical expansion of the Arrive Together program that currently exists throughout the state of New Jersey.
A new way of dealing with those individuals that might be barricaded, decompensating, or having just a general everyday crisis. And we're coming to their aid in a different way that I believe is more empathetic as well rehabilitative.
And the fact that we have this opportunity to work with RWJ Barnabas Health, mental health providers, that's tremendous. That really gives us everything we need.
These mental health consultants are individuals who have a master's level education. They have an understanding of mental health disorders.
They are on call 24/7, so that at any point in time, if there's a need for our tactical team to be deployed, and we certify that that is the case and we need services, we will call out to them.
The critical incident model is for a response team, which we call a SORT team, which many years ago was called a SWAT team. And so that response team does partner with a mental health professional when there is someone who's a barricaded individual.
Having these tools at the scene readily available, as opposed to having to call them in and wait for their availability, during which time these situations escalate, further tensions arise, as opposed to perhaps immediate de-escalation.
Let's go to the heart of it. Let's go to the core of it and try to figure out how can we help this person. It's so much safer for everyone, both the law enforcement and the individual that may be barricaded, that may be going through the mental health crisis.
Nobody's rushing in at the arrival to say, let's just go in guns blazing. That's not what happens. Everything is very analytical, very calculated. The least amount of force that's needed or necessary to make a situation safe is what we're trying to do.
And we have seen very positive outcomes and want to see that continue and expand in New Jersey and throughout the nation.
The collaboration which led to the ARRIVE critical incident model is one of many reasons why New Jersey is the national leader in not only alternative response programs, but also in law enforcement more broadly. Because of these county prosecutors and the assistant prosecutors, detectives, critical incident response teams, and their mental and behavioral health partners, they not only expanded ARRIVE together, but they fundamentally changed how law enforcement in New Jersey responds to situations involving barricaded individuals. In doing so, we're working towards guaranteeing positive and safer outcomes for law enforcement and for the communities we serve.
So I want to just highlight two things, and then I'm going to call up the awardees. First is, this is a great example of the incredible work that's being done on the ground every day, and this is the way it should work. Work that's being done on the ground we can lift up and ultimately build to something that can be applied statewide. The second thing is, we have very few cases in the state that don't resolve the way we would hope. Those cases, unfortunately, get all of the attention. You don't read headlines about the sometimes 20-hour engagement of one of these teams with an individual who's struggling, who ends up putting a weapon down and walking out into the care of health care providers safely with no injuries. But that's what's happening across the state because of work like this, literally. I read them. And so I want to thank the prosecutors' offices from Hudson, Middlesex, Monmouth, and Union counties, and I want to invite to the stage Prosecutor Suarez, Chief Parker, Chief Canastra, Captain Marchek, Prosecutor Santiago, Chief McCabe, Prosecutor Daniel, and Chief Barnwell. And if I missed anybody and there's anybody else, come on up. And RWJ, excuse me. It couldn't happen together without RWJ. So please come up. There's no question they arrived together today. I've been working on that one for a while, so thanks for laughing. Our next award is the Outstanding Community Partnership Award, which again, I mean, I can't even think about the amount of times that we could have awarded this over the course of the past year or 4 years. But we have 2 awards for this category, and the first award is for Senior Assistant Prosecutor Ashley Angelo of the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office. And I turn your direction to the screen.
The Outstanding Community Partnership Award, honoring a county prosecutor's office or police department that has implemented or strengthened a community partnership or collaboration with community stakeholders to advance public safety. The Outstanding Community Partnership Award is presented to Ocean County Assistant Prosecutor Ashley Angelo and the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office's Challenge Day Workshop.
We kept getting reports of bias crimes and incidents in schools. I just had the idea to pitch Challenge Day to Prosecutor Bill Heimer. Challenge Day is a day-long workshop that hopes to foster empathy and inclusion. We offer it to every high school. It starts off very positive, there's icebreakers, but then it takes you on this roller coaster. There'll be some breakout groups. The most powerful part of the day is called Cross the Line, and they have all the students and staff standing on one side of the line, and then moderators tell different experiences that someone may have had. And then you see all of these people crossing the line who are going through the same thing that you're going through. And you also see that the teachers or adults in your life might be going through the same thing that you're going through, and it also shows the adults what the kids might be going through too. So if it allows that student to just open up or find a friend, or for somebody who maybe was bullying somebody to see like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be behaving like that. It just really opens up their eyes to what's going on, and it gives a safe place for anybody that's struggling. It's really been a collaborative effort of the whole county. I mean, we've gone from the north end to the south end of the county. We've really been able to help support a lot of people and a lot of students, and I just feel very grateful to have been a part of that.
This is really amazing work. 1 in 4 bias incidents reported in New Jersey today come from a school, which is, as a parent of 2 kids, that should make us all concerned. And the work that is being done in Ocean County and across the state to combat it, and this is a great example of that work, is so impactful. So please join me in inviting Prosecutor Ashley Angelo and once again, Brad Billheimer up to the stage for a photo and for the award. Prosecutor Bill Heimer just let me know he won't be coming up again, so in case anybody was worried. The second Outstanding Community Partnership Award goes to somebody really special, and I'll let you watch the video and then I'll share a little bit more.
The second Outstanding Community Partnership Award is presented to William Schievella of the Somerset County Sheriff's Office and the Police Studies Institute of St. Elizabeth for building communities throughout his career in law enforcement and academia.
All groups are consumers of law enforcement, and we need to look at them in that way, in that we bring them together to see what their needs are and make sure that they're being met. When Sheriff Darren Russo brought me to the Somerset County Sheriff's Office, he asked me to engage all of the stakeholders in Somerset County and make sure that everyone had a seat at the table. Because if you don't have relationships and connections and discussions up front, it's always too late in a time of crisis. So I've been blessed to have so many relationships over the years with organizations like the Peace Island Institute, which is primarily a Muslim organization, which builds interfaith dialogue and tolerance and builds relationships with law enforcement and government stakeholders. In my role at St. Elizabeth University, I try to bring academic background into a discussion with law enforcement, the clergy, community leaders to have difficult but critical discussions. Number one thing about St. Elizabeth that's special is our students, and our students are always there, whether they're seeking careers in criminal justice or they just want to be part of the solution. The more educated and the more reflective of the community that law enforcement is, the better they're able to do the job and build a better understanding and tolerance and respect for law enforcement in the community, and honestly, friendships and relationships.
So Bill is a really special person, and he does an extraordinary job bringing law enforcement together, and he does it with such enthusiasm for the profession, and always with a smile. And I've spent a lot of time with Bill over the past several years in various communities, and invariably you walk out feeling inspired about the work that's being done in the state. And at a time when people are sort of being pushed off into our corners, it's people like Bill that are bringing folks together every single day that are going to help keep us strong as a state and as a nation. And for the law enforcement community, whether you know Bill or not, you have benefited in some way, shape, or form from his work to build bridges. And I'm so proud to give him this award. I'm also just proud to call him a friend. Bill, come on up. This is for you. Bill's always got a fan club. Our next award is the Outstanding Youth Engagement Award. And once again, we have two awardees. And once again, this next award is to somebody who is extremely special. And I'll let the video play and then try to ad-lib a little bit.
The Outstanding Youth Engagement Award, honoring a law enforcement officer who designed and implemented an innovative program or initiative to promote stronger police youth engagement. The Outstanding Youth Engagement Award is presented to Lieutenant Sharon Easton from the Patterson Police Department for her dedication to strengthening the bond between the police and Patterson's youth.
The Community Affairs Division, we serve as a bridge between the department and the community. A big part of what we do is programming for young people. We have the I Am He program where you see them come in hard one day, and then after some time you get to see them develop into these young men. We have our All Girls program. The same with them. You're able to teach them some things and they're able to teach you things. As an adult, we should be able to give the wisdom. They shouldn't have to make the mistakes that we made. I can't explain the feeling when I hear a parent talk about how her son comes home and shares his paycheck with her, or how he or she takes care of her brother and sister. That's why I love my division. I have an excellent team. So that just tells you the impact that the police department has had.
So, if you go to Patterson, everyone knows Lieutenant Sharon Easton. I mean everyone, like literally every person. And she can tell you not just who they are, who their parents are, what sport they played in high school, where they hang out, and she cares so deeply about the community. And the success we've had in Patterson over the past 2+ years in not just reforming a police agency, but really rebuilding and changing the relationship between law enforcement and the community in a way that has made the city safer, first under the leadership of Issa Abbasi, and now under Chief Murray, who called me this morning. He's out of commission with an injury. No comment on whether he got into a brawl over a budget or something. But he wanted to make sure I knew, and I know this already, how much he appreciates what Sharon does every single day. And a lot of those videos were taken at events that I've been to, and have seen the way the young people in Paterson, across maybe the most diverse city in America, respond to her and that team and to the police department. And I'm so proud of the work that she's doing. I'm so honored to invite her, and I'd like to invite Issa as well up to the stage, the new director of the Office of Policing Strategy and Innovation, to accept this award. Please also give a round of applause for the whole Community Affairs unit who's out there in those shirts every day. You can't miss them on the streets of Paterson. They've done an amazing, amazing job. To our second Youth Engagement Award winner, and you'll know why I said this, why there's no truth to the fact that First Assistant Lindsay Rotolo rigged this award. And I'll let you play the video, and then it'll explain why.
The second Outstanding Youth Engagement Award is presented to Secaucus Police Sergeant Taylor Ensman and Oakley from the Secaucus Police Department Therapy K-9 Unit.
The Secaucus Police Department's Therapy K-9 team just consists of myself and Oakley, in what I believe was the first police therapy dog in New Jersey. As you can see, is a handsome and friendly dog, and most importantly, soft to the touch, making him the perfect candidate for a therapy dog. The purchase of Oakley was just intended for him to be our family dog. Prior to Chief Miller getting promoted, I had been seeing on Facebook a department in California that had a golden retriever therapy dog. And I showed him, I said, hey, look, I'm finishing this therapy dog program. I would be interested in doing this. And he looked me in the eye and he said, you know, if he becomes chief, he'd be open to anything. He became chief in March of 2020. And then shortly after that, he returned to me and said, all right, you ready to start the program? So as the program developed and schools and everything started to reopen from COVID, I made contact with the school psychiatrist, Zahava Pianco. We ended up having weekly meetings within the schools in Secaucus. And we would do everything such as, like, I would teach them, the kids about dogs. I would even do arts and crafts, or simply just talk with the kids to show that the police are friendly, approachable, and here to help. The partnership's kind of been like a surreal experience. I mean, I've been able to bring my best friend to work with me, which not a lot of people get to do, especially as a police officer. It really allowed me to interact with the community in ways that I didn't think I'd be able to.
I want to invite Sergeant Ensman and Oakley of the Secaucus Police Department, and I also want to invite Chief Miller up to the stage. Is he here? He's away. Oh, he's away. Excuse me. Sorry.
One day of vacation.
Oh, come on. I'm going to get you the award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
By the way, this award is both to Sergeant Ensman and Oakley, so they can fight over whose bookshelf it goes on. Look at the camera.
Hopefully watch me, he'll watch it.
Well, that makes everybody's day. Tough to follow that one. By the way, the best class I ever took, it just reminded me, the best class I ever took in college was a class about sleep, and we had a narcoleptic dog that came in for a lecture. I don't remember a lot of classes in college, but I remember everything about that class. So I'm sure everyone's going to remember that award. I'm now really honored to recognize the Police Chaplains of the Year award. And this is another award where we have 2, but frankly, we could have 200, because I want to recognize Pastor Taylor, who is at everything for us and helps bring so many new folks into the chaplain program across the state. But the first Chaplain of the Year award goes to Chaplain Shelly Bell of the Somerset County Sheriff's Office. And I'll turn it to the podium, or to the video.
Police Chaplain of the Year, honoring an exceptional chaplain who goes above and beyond the normal duties of a police chaplain to serve the needs of the department and community. The Police Chaplain of the Year is Shelly Bell.
I am called to be a spiritual presence in the lives of those navigating some of life's most challenging, joyful, or transitional moments. The Encouragement Cafe has become a vital lifeline for women officers and personnel who serve on the front line of our community. We meet once per month in the Sheriff's Conference Room over breakfast to gather, recharge, boost morale, and have candid, meaningful conversations about the uniqueness and difficulties of being a woman in law enforcement. These sheroes are brave women of strength, kindness, knowledge, and they have a fighting spirit. And it is my desire and vision for other women in law enforcement, for other women in public safety to be empowered and to be inspired. To every woman serving in law enforcement and public safety across New Jersey, thank you.
So please join me in congratulating Chaplain Shelly Bell of the Somerset County Sheriff's Office. I'd also like to invite her nominator, Bill Schievella, up to the stage, as well as her team. So thank you. So the second Chaplain of the Year award also goes to somebody very special that has been just an incredible rock at the center of the Patterson community for a very long time and has been really instrumental in the work that we've been doing. It goes to Monsignor Geno Sylva of the Patterson Police Department. But I just want you to know, the day we went into Patterson, March of 2023, March 27th, 2023, Monsignor Geno was there. And he's been there every day since, was there every day before, by the way, and has been there every day since. And there to support the officers of that department, there to support the community. I've seen him at some really low times that we've had in Passaic County and in Patterson, and I've seen him when we're celebrating the successes of the finest men and women that you'll see in law enforcement. And he is just, no matter what the moment is, he is there bringing people together, lifting up work, and serving the people of that department. And so I'll turn it over to the screen, but I'm just so proud to call him a friend and a partner, and he is such a leader in that community.
The second Police Chaplain of the Year is Monsignor Eugene Geno R. Sylva.
The Patterson Police Department, because I live here in the heart of Patterson, means the world to me. The Patterson Police Department is always asking our opinions, our input. How can we better take care of the community? How can we respond to this need? What do you need? And at the end of the day, it's all of us who are motivated out of protecting the goodness of the people in this community. We want this city to be free of violence and hate and division. I feel very humbled by being the chaplain for the Patterson Police Department to help in any way that I can and to assist in any way possible. It's an honor to be one of those people that they can trust. In a very real way, what our women and men signed up for, maybe what they expected is not what they're finding. They're changing our world and our community more than they can ever know. And also in a very real way, they're finding God in saying yes to that reality.
Please join me in inviting Monsignor Lowry. I'd also like to invite Chief Murray and Sheriff here. Oh, there you are. Come on up. So please join me in inviting them to the stage. Again, just an amazing partner in Patterson and Pacific. Issa, come on up too. Sorry, I'm not usually on my phone. We have somebody who's got stuck in traffic and is frantically trying to get here, who's an awardee. So I'm gonna audible, and we're gonna skip his award and go to what was gonna be the last award, but which is the Sergeant Joseph Ascona Award that I referenced earlier. Again, this award is a new award for this year, the Sergeant Joseph Ascona Bravery Award, and it goes to the Newark Police Department's Intel Unit. And I've had the chance, under unfortunate circumstances, to get to know these men and women over the past couple of months. I've obviously admired their work for a long time because the city of Newark, and as we know, as Newark goes, so goes New Jersey. The state of New Jersey is safer because of the heroism and the bravery that each and every one of them displays every day. And I'm gonna play the video in a second, but the truth is, I have never seen a group of people who care about each other more than they care about each other. And we saw it in a really difficult time, but I know that that was true every single day. And I know that's exactly, Martha, how Joseph was and how proud he was to be a part of that unit and how proud they were to serve with him. And, both them as well as their federal partners and our partners from across the state. I just want you to know how much of an honor it is to give you this award. And to Director Miranda and to Chief Morris and to the whole Newark police community. There is no group of people anywhere in the United States of America more deserving of recognition than this group. And I'll turn it over to the screen now.
The Sergeant Joseph Ascona Bravery Award, honoring a law enforcement unit for their bravery and impact in the intelligence-led reduction of gun violence in New Jersey communities. Named for Sergeant Joseph Ascona, a 5-year veteran of the Newark Police Division who lost his life in the line of duty in March 2025. A natural-born police officer, he was raised in a law enforcement family, and after graduating from the academy, excelled to reach the rank of detective after 3 years. He was posthumously promoted to the rank of sergeant. The inaugural Sergeant Joseph Ascona Bravery Award is presented to the Newark Police Division's Intelligence Unit.
Our criminal intelligence unit, they deal with crime, intelligence-based policing.
And they target our most violent offenders, which are really putting a lot of pressure on the city. And they go out there and they target these folks and they get them off the street.
They do an awesome job. Every week they're out there, they're in the gritty parts of the city, and they're doing a lot of that real hard knock work that police officers do.
It is a very dangerous job. They really are our elite force, and they're doing it in a way that's respectful of people's rights.
And they do it proudly, and they do a great job at what they do. And they always target the right people, and we get a lot of good jobs with those guys, the criminal intel, and also a lot of guns off the street.
Definitely Sergeant Ascona espoused the values of that unit. That's why he was able to come into that unit within a very short period of time. He was able to fit in with the folks and was able to do the job and do it well and excel.
The officers from the intel unit, they miss Sergeant Ascona a lot, and they respect who he was and his love for the job.
He wanted to serve his community. He wanted to make his family proud. He wanted to come out here and do the best job that he can do, and he did it. And unfortunately, that night, he paid the ultimate sacrifice.
When you lose someone that loved the job as much as he did, and then you have to continue to do the work that he did, you kind of tackle it a different way. It's a little more personal.
27 years ago when I started, homicides, hovered over 100 on a yearly basis. We're seeing record lows of those homicides. And it's no wonder that, again, the Criminal Intelligence Unit is as good as they are.
And what we can learn from that, once we come together, we can do anything we kind of put ourselves out there to do.
I want to invite the entire Newark Intel Department or unit up to the stage, along with Chief Morris, Director Miranda, Ms. Vargas, if you would join us. And we have colleagues from the Jersey City Police Department and the ATF. When you hear over 100 homicides, and we're now down below 40, think about that. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people in the city of Newark and across the state of New Jersey who are celebrating today with their families in ways that tragically, Ms. Vargas, you are not, because of the heroism of your son and his colleagues. There is no other profession in the world that can say that. So I thank you, and it is an honor to invite all of you up to the stage to receive this award. once again, I want to thank you, and I want to commend each and every one of you, and I want you to know that we continue to pray for you, and as well as for Manny and for the rest of the unit and for the Escona and Vargas families. So, the last award, he made it. You know, I'm going to play the video, but you sort of throw around terms. This person really is a brother to me. I met Reverend Derek Green over a decade ago when I showed up for a meeting with Bishop Reginald Jackson, who many of you know is a great leader in the AME Church. And I met Reverend Green. And we sat in the corner of a gym in folding chairs, and he kept me for hours just about after that meeting and said to me, and I'll never forget, he said, if you want to care about policy, you need to come meet people. And I said, well, yeah, that's what I want to do. And so we went around the state for 2 years, literally, meeting in church basements and in rooms where there weren't a lot of people there. And he said to me, I want you to meet people who don't usually get to meet people in positions of power. And I've done that with him now for over a decade and have learned from people across the state. And when I took this job, I said to him that I want to do the same as the Attorney General. I want people to see our department not as some, even though we're in the justice complex, not as some place that they can't reach and can't touch and can't meet, that I want to meet people and have them know who we are. So we build those relationships. And Reverend Green worked with Yolanda, who's now gone off to run the division on civil rights, and now with Whitney. And I have to, by the way, give a huge shout out to Whitney for organizing all of today. Whitney Lewis, who's doing an amazing job. But so much of what we've been able to accomplish, when I say we have partners, it's because I've been able to build relationships with people who may not always trust what law enforcement wants to do. And when you meet them and you sit with them and you talk to them and you show that you genuinely care, and I thank Reverend Green, who every single day, by the way, now for 5 years running, right? Prayer call started in March or April of 2020, leads an interfaith prayer call, which I've joined on many occasions, of faith leaders across the state every single morning to talk, both to pray, and also just talk about issues that are going on across the state. He has had my back, I've had his, and he is genuinely a leader and a brother to me, and I'm just so honored that he made it. I know he was driving a long way and there was a bad accident, so I'm grateful that he's here, and I'll let him speak for himself in his own words.
The Attorney General Leadership Award, honoring a community leader who tirelessly works to build bridges between public servants and communities across New Jersey. The inaugural Attorney General Leadership Award is presented to Reverend Derek L. Green, the founder of the Interfaith Action Movement.
The way I was trained by my parents, you want to change something, you pray about it. It may sound simple, but that's what I believe. The Interfaith Action Movement, I Am movement, is committed to really empowering underserved and marginalized communities. We meet every day at 8 o'clock in the morning. We've been doing it for 5 years. We pray, then we address issues from the census to systemic trauma to affordable housing. We also have been involved in the reentry effort. We've been involved in so many projects over the last 5 years, and we're not stopping. We're committed to ensuring that communities know about resources that the state has. We're committed that the state knows about the resources that come from those communities. Through our Let's Talk series, through our town hall meetings, through our in-person workshops, we are that bridge between leadership within the state and the community, and we love being that bridge. We got to get to that place where it's not pointing fingers, it's understanding, addressing issues, understanding people's pain, and being able to deal with that in a substantive policy way, especially when it comes to freedom, when it comes to justice. And I don't think God's going to tell us to stop.
Please join me The first recipient of the Attorney General's Leadership Award goes to Reverend Derek Green of the Interfaith Action Movement. Come on up, and whoever's with you, to bring them all. All right. Well, that concludes our awardee ceremony. We did that record time, so I'm not going to get yelled at when I go upstairs. I want to just conclude where I started. I want to thank you all, everybody in the law enforcement community in New Jersey, for the work that you do. I want to thank you for the privilege of working with you, for the sacrifice you make to your families who sacrifice alongside you, and to everybody who supports law enforcement throughout the state as we go into Police Week. I hope that we can use this week, something we should do 52 weeks a year, but let's use the next week to recognize the selfless service of our law enforcement officers, to lift them up, and to thank them for the work they do to keep 9.5 million people in the greatest state in America safe. So God bless you all, stay safe, and I look forward to celebrating out there with you over the next week. Thank you.